Yo, what is up guys, it's iCross, and in this video, we are going to be going over the best Fortnite settings for Chapter 4 Season 3. If you guys aren't already subscribed, please consider dropping a sub and leaving a like on this video, and let's get right into the video. Alright boys, let's hop right into it. So we're going to hop right into our settings, and we're going to start off with our video settings. So for windowed mode, have this set to full screen. For resolution, I play on 1920 by 1080. You guys can decide to play on stretched res or native. So 1920 by 1080 is considered native resolution. If you guys do decide to play on stretched resolution, I will have a video linked down below on how to get stretched resolution using the CRU method. And the CRU method is the best method to get stretched res, and it'll give you the least delay possible. So I definitely check that out. For VSync, I have it to off. Frame rate limit. So what you're going to do with frame rate limit, you're going to cap it at whatever hertz your monitor is at. So if you guys are playing on a 60 hertz monitor, make sure to cap this at 60 FPS. I have a 240 hertz monitor, so I cap it at 240 FPS. All right. For rendering mode, in my opinion, performance mode is the best render mode. It'll give you the least delay possible, 100%. If you guys do decide to play on DX11 or DX12, it's going to put a lot more strain on your PC, and definitely performance mode is what you guys should select. For brightness, in my opinion, 100% is the best. User interface contrast, just have it at 1x. Colorblind mode, this is up to personal preference, and it's also based on how natural colored your monitor is. Some people have much brighter monitors, some people have much darker monitors. I would say my monitor is more on the brighter side, so I have it selected to D4. And this is kind of what I found is best. It kind of darkens the game a little bit, and in my opinion, it makes the colors look a lot better. And so this is all set to personal opinion, but I think D4 is definitely the best there. 3D res, you guys can set it anywhere from 90% to 100%. Anywhere below 90% is going to make the game look very, very bad, and it's going to be almost impossible to make out builds or see players. So I would definitely recommend setting it to 100%. View distance, you guys could set this to near or medium. I prefer to set it at near, just because it'll give you the least delay possible. Textures, we're going to have this set at low. Meshes, low. You guys can decide if you want to play on low meshes or high meshes. If you guys play on high meshes, you need to make sure to set your view distance to medium. All right, so that's the only way high meshes will work. So I would definitely just play on near and low. That is my recommendation. And of course, show FPS, you guys can set it to whatever you want. Onto game settings. So for matchmaking region, you guys want to set this to whatever your region is. So I live in NA East, so I select NA East. Just make sure you guys select your specific region instead of just selecting auto, because it might auto default to a region that you aren't in for some reason. So I've just for safety reasons, I would select NA East. For movement, toggle sprint I have on. Auto open doors I have on. Auto open doors is actually very underrated settings wise, because if you guys are landing in, you guys can auto open the door. Your character can auto open the door and grab the gun right away instead of having to press a key to open the door. So it's actually very, very underrated, but I would keep this on. Mantle activation I have on hold jump. Hold swap to pick up I have off. Toggle targeting off. Mark danger when targeting off. Auto pick up weapons I have on. This is another underrated setting. In my opinion, auto pick up weapons should be on, and I actually had this off for a very long time because I didn't like just running through loot and it automatically getting sorted in. But then they added preferred item slots, and you guys can actually configure that. Here's my settings. You guys can copy those if you'd like. But auto pickup weapons also gives it a chance. So say you and a player land on a chest at the same time and you guys both open it at the same time. Since auto pickup weapons is on, the loot will automatically go right into your inventory if you're standing next to it. So it gives you a better chance of getting the gun versus your opponent. So I would definitely have that on. Auto sort consumables to the right have on. And onto our building settings here. Reset building choice I have off. Disable pre-edits I have off. Turbo building on. And auto-confirm edits is actually a fairly new setting. I actually prefer this to have it on edit, and you guys can change it to whatever you feel is best, but I think edit is best. Contextual tips I have on. You guys can turn that off if you'd like. And here's just kind of the other game settings. You guys can check it out. And there's actually kind of two little secret settings at the bottom here. Energy saving, and this is actually pretty important. So for enable idle energy saving front end and enable inactive window energy saving, make sure these are both set to off, because we don't want any energy saving with Fortnite. Whenever you see the term energy saving, that means performance is being decreased, all right? We want the highest performance possible, and we don't want any of our performance going to energy saving, so make sure those are both set to off. Heading into our game UI, reticle I have on, the reticle ammo indicator I have off, damage numbers I have set to cumulative. You guys can choose to have it on list, but I prefer cumulative. Reticle damage feedback is off. The damage number scale, have it set to the highest amount possible because you guys want to see how much damage you're doing to your players. And it also looks better for clips. You guys want it to have the biggest numbers possible. I honestly would wish they make it even a little bit bigger, maybe 150% or 200%, but definitely have this all the way up. For HUD scale, this is subject to personal opinion. I prefer to see a lot more of my screen and less of my HUD. So I keep it at 64%, which is considered pretty small. So take that into consideration. And you guys can just copy these settings if you would like, but these are my personal HUD option settings. Heading into, there's nothing with touch and motion. Heading into mouse and keyboard. So this is the fun stuff and probably what a lot of you guys are here for the mouse sense. So for my X and Y, I have 10% set to both. And if you guys are looking to find your best sensitivity or what sensitivity is going to work best for you, my recommendation is anywhere from 6% all the way up to 10%. 10% being the highest I would ever go. And so I think a great starting sense is 8%. And if you guys know GXR Malabuka, he is actually one of the most recent best EU players, and he plays on 8%. And he's a demon on 8%. So 8% is a great starting spot, but if you feel that 8% is a little too fast, maybe drop it down 1% or 2%. And if you feel that 8% is a little too slow, you could even bump it up to 9% or 10%. I play on 10% because it feels great with my mechanics, and my play style is definitely a little more on the aggressive side. So having that fast sense kind of helps me move around really quick, and that is just kind of my personal preference. For targeting and scope sense, I have it 52.4%. Again, personal opinion, but I think that if your X and Y sense are higher, I would definitely make sure your targeting sense and scope sense is around 50% or higher. And that is just my personal opinion. Building sense, I both have set to the default 100%. You guys can just look at these settings and copy them. For keyboard movement, I do use the in-game built double movement. And so it's set at 65 for the forward diagonal angle, 90 for the strafe angle, and 135 for the backward diagonal. And in my opinion, this is the best double movement settings for Fortnite because it is set to where you won't lose any momentum when going left or right. And if you increase this to like 70% or higher, it's definitely going to make you lose momentum. So I would definitely consider switching over to these exact double movement settings. And for mouse flight, I just have this set to 100%, and then I have off and off for those. And for controller options, I know most of you guys are on keyboard and mouse because this is a keyboard and mouse tutorial, but for some reason, they actually have two settings right here that actually are for keyboard and mouse, but it's actually found in the controller options. And some of you guys might not even know it's there. So there's actually the edit hold time and slide hold time, and they both are for keyboard and mouse. And so for edit hold time, I have this set to 0.184 seconds. I would definitely copy that. I think that is the best possible edit hold time that works best for me. And slide hold time, I set at 0.100 seconds. It's a little on the faster side, or I should say more sensitive. So when I click left control, which is my crouch, I will slide almost every time, which is actually really good, especially with the new mud mechanic. I can just spam the left control and it'll actually boost me with the mud, as seen in this example on screen. Now onto audio. So for audio, I honestly would not copy any of these settings because this is personal to my headset. So these you guys can copy these settings if you want, but these are personal to me. I have the picture-in-picture set at 0 because I don't want to be hearing anything playing in-game while I'm in fights, and dialogue also at 0%. So I would definitely copy those two settings, but everything else you guys can just leave or change to however you feel. But for the sound settings, make sure sound quality is set to high. This kind of determines where people are going to be. So this will help determine if people are going to be above or below you. 3D headphones, never turn that on. It's pretty awful, so I have this set to off. Background audio, notifications only, subtitles. Surprisingly enough, subtitle options actually affect performance. So if we go into options here, you guys can just copy these settings, And these settings will give you the best performance possible. A lot of people don't know, but subtitles actually affects performance if they're not set to these. So make sure you guys copy these exact settings to get the best settings for your subtitles. And for visualized sound effects, make sure this is set to on. If this is set to off and it's 2023, make sure you set this to on, because it is the most broken setting in the entire game. It kind of shows where people are before you could even see them, and it definitely helps when you're in fights with numerous people. It kind of helps you keep track of specific players that you get low in fights and stuff like that. So make sure you have that on. For audio output device, of course, just have your output device, and these are my voice chat settings. And lastly, we will end it off with my keybinds. So there's nothing really special with my keybinds. I would consider my keybinds fairly optimal. You guys can pause this video at any time to copy my exact keybinds if you want. But we'll kind of just scroll all the way down, and you guys can take a look at all my settings here. And that is basically it. These are just the vehicles. And yeah, that is basically a rundown. We went a little in depth of all your Fortnite settings, but in my opinion, those are the best Fortnite settings for Chapter 4 Season 3. And I will see you guys in the Nvidia control panel as we will go over the best settings for your 3D options. Alright boys, so the last part of this video, we're going to actually head into our Nvidia control panel. So you're going to right click on your desktop and select Nvidia control panel, and we're going to wait till it pops up. Once it pops up, you guys will see Manage 3D Settings automatically comes up for me. If it's not, just make sure you go into Manage 3D Settings. And actually before that, we're going to go into Adjust Image Settings with Preview in the top left corner there. We're going to click that. Make sure you guys have selected Use the Advanced 3D Image Settings. All right, so select that and hit Take Me There, and that'll just send you back to Manage 3D Settings. And so I'm actually just going to go through all of these. I'm not going to explain what they do because I actually have an entire video already made. I'll also have that link down below where I go in depth with all these settings and explain why I have them set to what they're at. But I'll actually just scroll down and show you guys what I have these settings set at. You guys can copy all these settings if you like. I'll pause this video at any time to copy these settings. But these are definitely the best 3D settings that I would have set, and they definitely dramatically affect your game's performance. So these are all optimized for Fortnite. And once you guys are done selecting all that, make sure you guys hit apply. There's probably going to be an apply button down in the bottom right hand corner. Make sure you guys just hit apply and you guys can exit out, and that is it. Again, if you found this video helpful, please consider dropping a sub on this channel and leave a like on this video, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.